Hi, I'm Aditi Vyas, Associate Director, Research and Policy at iWage, Institute for What Works to Advance Gender Equality. iWage is an initiative of LEAD at Kriya University. Over the next couple of minutes, I will take you through my leadership project and my leadership journey. So, while India has the advantage of the demographic dividend, the exploration of SRHR advocacy and the intersection of women youth leaders from marginalized communities further needs exploration. In this context, my project hypothesizes that if women and youth leaders from marginalized communities are equipped with adequate resources, mentorship, and an enabling policy environment, they will be able to effectively and actively engage in SRHR advocacy, thereby strengthening their leadership and amplifying youth voices in policy and programmatic decision making. In this context, the key questions I'm attempting to answer are: what support do women youth leaders from marginalized contexts need to thrive in SRHR advocacy? How can policies, programs, and leadership initiatives respond to their specific needs? The outcome vision for the project is to generate actionable insights to inform policies, programs, and funding priorities for women youth leaders. The implementation strategy has been an exploratory, participatory, qualitative research study with 8 to 10 women leaders from Assam, Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and Madhya Pradesh who are part of the Yash Fellowship and are currently in the age group of 22 to 28 years. For the project, I started by conducting an in-depth literature review that informed the design of the IDI guide. The interviews are ongoing, and I plan to explore connections between barriers and enablers at the individual, community, societal, and institutional levels, including experiences of any backlash. Following are some of the emerging insights. Women leaders have limited access to youth platforms and networks. While they exist, they are often urban-centric, hosted in tier 1 cities, and inaccessible to grassroots leaders. They also spoke about language as a barrier, with available resources often in English and not in vernacular language, with limited outreach. Almost all women spoke about the experience of backlash at the family, society, and community level when undertaking SRHR advocacy, often labeled as a bad girl and questioned about their mobility while going for a campaign or traveling outside the city for work. Additionally, then there are few public spaces for women youth leaders to convene in. Discussions are often in urban-centric elite spaces like coffee shops and conferences. And finally, there are few female role models that meant that youth leaders can be inspired by and aspire to. Similarly, there are few male allies in SRHR advocacy, particularly in local communities where the subject is still a taboo. In terms of initial recommendations, there is a need to build and strengthen local level advocacy networks to counter backlash and ensure solidarity at the community level. SRHR content needs to be more visually appealing and accessible in local languages. We need to provide mentorship opportunities for women youth leaders and offer cross-learning through exchange platforms and programs from different regions. We need to encourage male peers, men and boys in SRHR advocacy to address backlash and counter community resistance. Similarly, women youth leaders, if they have to have a seat at the table of decision making, and actually really encourage that through local hiring and capacity building opportunities. And finally, there's a need to foster movement building efforts by investing in and supporting long-term advocacy strategies and youth-led leadership programs. In terms of concluding the study, I plan to sort of refine the recommendations and produce it in the form of a policy and programmatic brief. Now I'll talk a little bit about my leadership journey, which has been informed by my project simultaneously. Through my project, I also realized that some of the barriers that women spoke about are also things that I sometimes struggle with in terms of confidence and being able to understand and know that one belongs here, one deserves to be heard, and can stand in one's own power while being inclusive, authentic, and impactful. And therefore, one of the ways I want to embody the leadership pillars are the following on the screen in terms of being authentic, centering youth voices, being inclusive and ensuring representation, being strategic in positioning research for influencing policy and donor investments, and translating findings into tangible policy actions. I want to sustain momentum by integrating learnings into my institution's research and policy work, strengthen collaborations with youth networks, and create mentoring opportunities and pathways for emerging women leaders. Finally, I would just really like to thank the entire WomenLift Health program, the team, my coach Nidhi Mota, my peers who really provided me with the support and laughter that I did not even know I needed. Thank you so much.